Oh, I was born in the bush in Manitoba. I was a young kid as a guide, of course. I guided the people of Winnipeg to go hunting, but I didn't take them to the good place. The geese, for example, my father used to say to me, "Son, why don't you take them up this place?" I said, "There are too many geese there." And I didn't do that. Oh, he said, "I understand." I was always a kind of a conservationist. At the university, I tried to impart my feelings about the wilderness. It wasn't the sociology, it wasn't anything that intrigued me as much as that did. And you know, it's a great mission we have. We all have responsibility to do this, of course. You know, I started out at Camp Pinecrest. I was a fellowship secretary, and I went with Ted Yard, who was a very good friend. And I had a staff of, I think, 18 counselors. And we had a whale of a time. And then I went from Pinecrest to Illahee Lodge. I wanted to work with the young people who were in distress. After Illahee, it was Bark Lake. And Bark Lake was a good thing. And I used to take them on trips along Lake Coshlong. I don't think they do that anymore, but there, if you look in the bush on the Blue Hawk Lake, you'll find an inscription in an old tree, Pioneers of 1948. Candelore became available, and I couldn't resist taking it on. I felt it was a good camp to go to, and everybody said, "Kirk, you should take it over." I went to see Russ Henderson at TD, and he said, "How much do you need?" I said, "Well, I'll need about $75,000 to start." He said, "Is that all?" And I said, "Well, I don't need much more than that." And then I went to see all the campers and got them on side, and all the creditors, and I offered them a discount, you know, and they went for it. So that's how I got started. 49 was the big hurricane, and we had the worst time opening camp that you ever saw. The buses couldn't get in, the water was flowing across the highway, and I can remember swinging an axe, and I felled 2 trees across the torrent, and took the kids in one at a time. You know, it was really quite amazing. And my staff were cemented like a unit at that time. They all came through, and the girls brought us cocoa, and no electricity, no nothing. But we did it anyway. Brought the kids in one at a time, and the kids thought it was great. Woodsmanship was the theme, you know. The woodsmanship I had divided into 3 W's: water, woods, and wilderness travel. We were the biggest tripping camp in the country at one time. And I believed so much in those 3 W's. I knew you had to trust them. When they went out of the camp gate, that was it. So that's how I operated. I wanted to express my ideas about wilderness and woodsmanship. And I saw OCA as a great opportunity to express myself. And so I started canoeing courses, and I started environmental courses and all these kinds of things. All the things I knew well. How to swing an axe.
That's right.
We went into woodsmanship schools, as you know, and these were concentrating on how you deliver in the environment. And you know, I developed the theme of to know, to care, to act. First of all, you have to know the environment to do anything with it. Secondly, you have to care about it. And thirdly, you have to act on your beliefs. And I got into OCA because I believed in promoting the ideas I had. And it worked, I think. I hope it worked. Well, I liked Ron Johnson. He was a really good person, and he was very much interested in the schools that I ran, the national schools, and also in the environmental projects. And he helped raise funds, I think, for them. So Ron was very important to me. We were paddling in the same direction. I'm honored to receive the award that he's got his name on it. Well, the museum came out of my belief that it's one thing to have an interest in the wilderness, but an interest in the wilderness means getting there, and getting there means canoes. So that's how the museum started, really, was out of my interest in heritage. because it was the handmaiden, you see, of conservation. That's what I believe. So many campers today are talking about the business of camping and not the philosophy of camping. And I think that's too bad. I stand for wilderness. I stand for conservation. I stand for all the things that go with conservation. And I don't like the word conserve very much, but I do think it conveys a message. I believe more in preservation of the wilderness. I believe that, you see, very fervently. A ways, away, and the high soul takes the highway, and the low soul gropes the low, and in between on the misty flats the rest drift to and fro. But to every man there openeth a way and ways and the way, and every soul decideth the way his soul shall go. Yeah. Well, I would say you have to believe. You have to believe in the wilderness. It's the #1 issue on this planet. We know that. And we got to work toward solving it. You have to do what you can, do your best with what you are, and you have to believe in the wilderness. If you do that, you can't go wrong.